everybody, welcome to my stop along a Cherry on Top's YouTube hop today. So today everyone on the design team is sharing their go-to design, a design that they really enjoy working with, and they're also sharing a tip or a trick that they use when they are stuck or need a page design or some inspiration. So my page design, my go-to page design I love is to go ahead and just concentrate all of my color and my photos into a section down the middle of my page. One of my absolute favorites, I mean, it's not a hard and fast that it has to stay to that center line. It can go off a little bit, but I just love that long kind of vertical design that can be created. One of my favorites. So the place that I go the most for inspiration is Pinterest. And when I go to Pinterest, I'm looking for something a little bit different than your average. So something I love, absolutely love to look at when I'm feeling a bit uninspired in my scrapbooking is home decor. Something about it just always inspires me. So we're going to take our page idea or our layout idea. We're going to take some inspiration from this. This is a home decor picture. Just found it on Pinterest. I was looking, I think I typed in masculine home decor, something like that, because I knew I wanted to scrapbook a photo of my son. So what do I love? I love all these shades of gray in this picture. I also love this fireplace, all right? Because you've got this like nice, again, that nice vertical look there. And if you look closely at the two sides, you'll see this kind of fun pattern. So we're gonna take inspiration for our layout from this wall of this home decor piece. We're going to take the idea of having tone on tone kind of texture down the sides of our page, and then the idea of having this lighter colored main focal point down the middle. So these two things both kind of go together. My go-to design and where I'm getting some inspiration for my layout. Okay, let's get this started. I'm starting with some thick, heavy, hot press cardstock. I have this beautiful stencil from Wendy Vecchi. So this is an older stencil. You probably won't be able to find it, but I'm going to use it to stencil some of the Vicky Bouton iridescent glaze down either side of my page. I'm using some Sizzix Maker's Tape, which I just got from the shop, and I have been loving it. It is the best thing. It's like a really, really low-tech washi, kind of similar to maybe purple tape, but it's clear. It's not purple tape, and I like it better than the purple tape that I've tried. So I'm just going to tape it down. I am putting down this first coat of iridescent glaze. I'm putting a nice thick coat. I'm going to end up doing this 4 times. So I'm going to do one stencil on the left, one stencil on the right, and then I'm going to go ahead and after that first set of stencils was dry, completely dry, I could go ahead and kind of lay the second stencil down again, and that is going to give me 2 12 by about 3-inch stenciled areas. And this particular stencil lines up perfectly, so you're not even going to be able to see or tell that I used a smaller stencil 4 times, which is really nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. 2 more nice thick layers of iridescent glaze, and then I'm going to set it aside and let it dry completely. The next layer on my background is I want to add some Distress Oxide ink. Now this is going to look really dark for a while and not that great. I know it's going to look really dark and not that great. And the whole time I'm saying to myself, this looks really dark and not that great, but it's okay. By the end of this, we are going to have a beautiful, amazing layout. So about 1/3 of the way down, I went ahead and grabbed a blueprint sketch because I thought, well, let's try some color. I knew that this blueprint sketch perfectly matched the collection I'm going to be using, which is Prima's new Nature Lover collection, which I adore. But it's still really bright. It's still really bold, and bold wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I set it aside to let it just dry, and I'm going to go through my 6x6 paper pads. I'm going to grab some of the patterns of paper that I know will complement my photos and that I think will look really pretty for this page. I'm going to try to pull in a lot of that bright blue, the blue that's in the collection that matches the blueprint sketch, but I'm also going to kind of pull in a couple of these more elegant neutral patterns. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cut 1-inch strips from this 6x6 paper. I am just cutting 1-inch strips from all of these patterns. I think I ended up cutting 2 strips per pattern, something like that. Okay, I also decided to grab some of the larger 12x12 papers and cut some strips from those. The reason being is that the 12x12 papers have this gorgeous gold foil, and I really wanted some of that gold foil on my page. I cut a larger, wider strip of this particular paper to spread across the bottom of my layout to help to ground it. And I also chose some cut aparts here that I wanted to use on my layout. So just a couple of things I thought were appropriate to my photos and a good idea. You can kind of see my photos sitting over to the left. I'll talk about those as I put the layout together. I pasted the wider strip across the bottom of my layout, and now I am putting foam tape up that entire center strip. I'm still trying to work with the background. I'm still trying to like it the way it is now, but yeah, you guys see. After I had all that foam down and all the backing paper pulled off, I'm going to go ahead and add all of these patterns. So I'm not minding the color so much in the background now, but I still think it's too much. I feel like now it's kind of competing with those patterns. It hasn't become that beautiful kind of tone-on-tone background that's in the inspiration piece. So, quick and easy fix. I grabbed some of the white gloss gel from Ranger. I poured some onto a piece of scratch paper, and I am just painting white right over all that color. I didn't cover up all the color, but I covered up a good chunk of it. And now the page looks more like I had envisioned when I started out. I'm going to go ahead and start with my 2 3x4 photos, and I'm going to go ahead and cluster some of the cut apart pieces underneath of them. So these 2 photos are of my youngest son. They are recent photos. He is going to turn 15 the end of June. And right now, guys, those hormones are just going. So he is literally like grumpy one minute and laughing the next. So the one day he was sitting on the couch and I was playing with some of the lighting and filters on my camera. And he was all grouching about me doing this. And then literally 30 seconds later, he's all smiles and posing for me while I play with my filters and take photos of him. So I had used this black background, and after I printed the pictures, I was like, you know what? We're scrapbooking these because, oh, crazy boys. Plus, this is a 100% accurate look at the child that I live with right now. So I am using lots of die cuts, and I really like these die cuts. I pulled a lot out. I used the ones from the cut apart sheet, and I have them all layered up. I'm going to put that love in the middle. It's going to act as my title. I'm going super simple with the title. And then I'm going to go ahead and add just a sprinkling of butterflies to the top left and the bottom right, just for some movement and to kind of break out of that very kind of vertical design we have going on here. It's always good when you have a vertical design like this to break out of the box a little bit. I'm using some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to really hold these die cuts down in place on top of the mixed media. And I'm also rolling my glue bottle around the floor. I want to add one of these butterflies because they're amazing and I really want to use them on a couple of layouts and projects. They are a bit bulky. I do try in my albums to save the bulk just for the really, really important or really, really pretty stuff. This is a really, really pretty stuff moment. So we're going to add a butterfly. And that's where we're pretty much going to call this one done. So lots of die cuts, lots of mixed media and fun going on. And I hope that you will take a peek in the comments down below, hop along and check out all of the design team's projects where we are all sharing our go-to designs and where we find inspiration when we need a little shot of creativity. I hope you have all had a fabulous day. Here are all of your close-ups, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye, guys.